It's time to review the third Percy Jackson book! So yes, today I will be doing a review of the third book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, The Titan's Curse. And let me tell you guys, rereading this book made me realize how sad this book really was. Like, this was really depressing considering the previous two books. But yeah, so this is going to be full of spoilers. It's more of a discussion more than a review. But for a little mini review, know that I love this book so much. Writing style, everything was perfect, just as the last two books were. And if you need convincing on reading this series, I suggest you go watch my review on The Lightning Thief, because I have a review section and there's no spoilers at the beginning of that. So go check that out, and that would be awesome. So this book picks right up in the middle of winter instead of summer, which is a bit different. But, you know, demigod stuff doesn't always happen in the summer. It happens throughout your entire life, so it makes sense. So, you know, we're going on a quest to meet these two other demigods that Grover has found. And they are Nico and Bianca? Bianca? I can never say her name. I never know how to say her name with reading this book series. You know, we're also with Thalia now. Thalia is kind of part of the crew and just chilling. And even though I like Thalia, she also came across as really annoying, kind of snooty, like kind of how she knew everything that was going on and just kind of made Percy feel really stupid, and I hate people who make other people feel stupid. It just really irks me. But I didn't hate Thalia's character, and I liked seeing her mature throughout the book as well. So we meet Nico and Bianca, and then we also meet this new monster, Dr. Thorne, and through a series of events ends up jumping over the cliff with Annabeth on his back. And I'm just sitting here thinking this is only the first, second chapter, whatever it was. This is the beginning of the novel and Annabeth is already gone. Just a lot of anxiety. Of course, Percy's sitting there like... And then of course we have Thalia kind of blaming Percy for Annabeth disappearing, and I was really kind of ticked off about that. That kind of got me irked a little bit because it was so not Percy's fault. He's just trying to do what he thought was best, and it irked me. And of course we have to tell these two new demigods that Greek mythology is real in modern day, and that always goes across great. Of course Bianca kind of takes it like, I think you're all crazy and need to have some more explaining to do. And of course Nico, who's 10 years old, takes this really great because he has this mytho-magic cards game, and he just completely is in love with this idea that everything in that game is real. Imagine if it was like Pokemon that was real. Like, yeah, you're the son of a Pokemon gym leader. I don't know. It was super exciting for him, and I thought Nico's just such a cutie. And I wish that Nico kind of kept that little cutiness throughout the series, but like I said, this was a depressing book. And then we meet the Hunters, as I said, and Artemis, and they're kind of arrogant, you know, boys, ew. So... yeah. And I was a little bit angry when Bianca joined them because she kind of just left her brother. And I can kind of understand where she's coming from, you know, she wants to be her own person away from Nico. But at the same time, you just left him in this strange camp. Like, not really, like, you think you could have stuck around just a little bit longer before you decided to join the Hunters out of the blue and leave him alone. And then, of course, we get the whole Percy and Thalia butting heads throughout the series. And I really like seeing that because their characters are so similar that you either get the, you know, they're going to be best buds or they're going to be worst enemies. And I think they were kind of teetering on that throughout this book. And I liked seeing that because, I don't know, it's just interesting to sort of see that relationship, and you didn't know if they were going to end up killing each other at some points because they just get so ticked off with one another, and they're pretty powerful. And of course we have Apollo's haikus throughout the story, and I just thought... oh, Apollo. And then, of course, we get the quest. The mummy of the Oracle kind of comes out in the middle of the field and tells them the prophecy. And, you know, we have everyone getting ready to go, and Percy's like, well, I'm not sure. My math is too great, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't included in that equation. I mean, I love Grover. I was like, Grover, you need to stay because Percy needs to go. But you know what? It ended up all working out anyways, and Percy meets up with him on the quest. And we get those creepy skeleton guys after them. That was so weird. When he, like, ripped a part of Percy's clothing off and was, like, sniffing it, I was like, something inside me was screaming. And of course, throughout the series, we keep going. We get the side story of Pan and Grover. And the story was, like, okay. I mean, I believe it's important to, you know, find the wildlife, bring back the wild. But at the same time, it's kind of just, like, a little side story. And sometimes, like, it was a little weird at first. You get this giant boar that just showed up, but Pan, man. And then, you know, while they were on top of this mountain and, like, looking for beverages and directions and stuff before Pan spoke to Grover, we had Percy and Bianca kind of just, like, talking and chilling out, and I really, really would have liked to see where their relationship would have gone. Like, obviously, Percabeth forever, but, like, I really think they would have been great friends, and it's kind of sad because not too much later, we get Bianca dying in the, graveyard of the gods. And it's really depressing how she got that little statue for Nico. But, like, at the same time, like, why did you have to do that? Because we make it clear that you were not to touch anything in that graveyard. And then she dies. And, of course, before that, we had the whole Aphrodite thing. And she screws up everything, Percabeth. You do not need to make their life difficult. If you had anything to do with what happened in the Mark of Athena, oh, Aphrodite, we've got some talking to do. And of course we had this whole little tidbit with the damn snack bar, and it's just a little tiny example of Rick Riordan's humor, and I was surprised he was able to sneak that in, you know, kind of lighten the mood after the death of Bianca, but he still made it. How he manages to flip back and forth between extremely depressing and then making you laugh your ass off, I have no idea. And then we meet a new character, Rachel Elizabeth Adair, who can see through the mist. And I just thought that whole exchange between her and Percy was super funny and super cute. You don't see a sword, this is a pen. And then she looks at him like, I'm pretty sure that's a sword, dummy. Are you crazy? But yeah, we really don't think much of her until we get to the next book, but she is important. And then we have the whole, like, sea cow thing. I'm not even going to try to say the official name because it's really long. I know it begins with an O, but... And then we see sort of like the power hungriness in Thalia's eyes when she's like, if I kill this cow, I can take down Olympus. And we kind of see like that kind of scary moment where like, Thalia, don't do it. But then we get to meet Annabeth's family, which we've been led to believe is kind of like a jerky family, but you know, we meet them and it's like a nice place. And they really miss her and they're willing to help when, you know, they gotta go get Annabeth. Then we have the epic battle and the fight of Mount Tam. We have Percy holding up the sky, we find Luke, we find Annabeth. I was so happy when Annabeth, like, saw them and Percy was, like, trying to send her, like, a message, like, are you okay? And she was trying to say something back, and I was just, Annabeth, we missed you so much throughout this entire book. And then, of course, going back to the depression theme that Rick Riordan seemed to find in this book, we have Zoe dying. And Zoe, I really, really liked her character because she's really arrogant, but, you know, she was coming along, you know, she had a lot to learn, and she really developed a lot throughout this book, and I really, really liked seeing that. But it was just really sad to see her die. I teared up, even though I already knew it was gonna happen, and, you know, she's like, I can see the stars, my lady, and but yeah, then we go back to the gods on Olympus for the winter solstice meeting, and then they vote to keep Percy alive, figure out that Thalia joins up with the Hunters, and it wasn't Annabeth who was going to join up with the Hunters, and I was just so sweet how Percy was like, Annabeth, I don't want you to do this, and she's like, what are you doing, Percy? I'm not going to do it, because they love each other. And then they had their little dance at the end, and just get these little Percabeth moments, seeing Percabeth, like, develop into Percabeth. It's always just so much fun. And of course we have Athena, it's like, I do not approve of your relationship with my daughter. And Percy's like, YOLO. I really, really like this book, but it was a lot more depressing than the past two books, and it keeps continuing to get, like, more darker. I think, like, as Rick Riordan, like, continues on with the stories, like, they just keep getting darker and darker. Especially when you get into the Heroes of Olympus series. So as always, guys, tell me down below in the comments what you thought of the story, and what were your favorite parts. What did you think of Thalia? What did you think of Zoe? What did you think of the story in general? What did you think of Luke and how he was, like, his soul was, like, being sapped out of him? I don't know, he just looked weaker and stuff. Like, what were you thinking at this time, and about Annabeth's family? Like, everything. Just comment below, and let me know about some stuff. Yeah, let's just talk about this book. And do you agree with me that it became more depressing? Because I think it definitely, like, this was the book where it started to get depressing. So as always, guys, have a great day, read a great book, preferably these ones, and I'll see you all later.